Hey heroes, Jesse here, and you are watching the first episode of this just in. It's not really a series. If you've watched the 20th episode of Messed Up, you would know that I decided to do an extra little side thing called This Just In, where instead of doing a whole episode on a certain subject every Monday, if I have a little bit of information that I can't fully be like do between like 3 and 10 minutes of footage for you to talk about, then I'll just show you here on this. And it's not series. There's no schedule to it. It's just at any time of the week. Doesn't matter what day, what time, night, morning, whatever. I would tell you guys. Now, originally it was just going to be a little bit of information, and that was it. But I decided I can take advantage of this, especially since there are some times when I can't decide whether I want to do a whole episode or just a This Just In. So I'm going to start doing, every once in a while, a comic review, because I don't review comics. That's not something I do, and I don't usually review movies either, even though I did review The Dark Knight Rises. But every once in a while, I might do something like this. And now this one is special because I feel like this is something that I should check out as well as everyone else, so I did. And that is, I'm going to review the first issue of Threshold, the first issue to come out from the new wave, wave 4, 3. I lost count. But the thing is, this comic came a month earlier than the rest of the wave, and there's just so much about it that I feel like I need to talk about. First of all, if you don't already know, Threshold number 1 is written by Keith Giffen, and the art is done by Tom Rainey. Now, with the Guardians of the Galaxy becoming more prominently popular at Marvel right now, I mean, they were popular before and everything, but there's a little more interest struck today, not today, but nowadays, because of the movie that's coming out and the new comic that's coming out in Marvel now, and it's making people want, I don't know if it really is making people want more space stuff, but DC has felt the need to somehow balance that out and do their response to it. And I don't know if, I guess the Green Lantern Corps, Green Lantern New Guardians, and Red Lantern series isn't enough for space stuff, and Superman not being in space as much, I guess, lately. But so they made this new comic called Threshold, and it's supposed to be, I guess, some kind of anthology thing, kind of like DC Universe Presents, but it's all space heroes and villains, I guess, and all this weird space stuff. And it's weird because, okay, it's not going to be like a group like the Guardians of the Galaxy where that's just what we're going to see every week or month, I mean. But instead, it's different characters come in and tell the story. So it's kind of like All-Star Western, which is all Western characters, and they have like 2 stories in the comic. Usually the first one's always Jonah Hex, and then they just add all these other characters and give you more to that world. Now they're doing it with space. And the first issue, the first story is about Jediah Call, who is a former Green Lantern. He is on he's being hunted through this game called The Hunted, which is kind of like Hunger Games or Death Race or something, but instead they're allowed to be released into the universe anywhere they can get to for, I think it was like 3 days or 2 or 3 days of time, and they have a free pass to get as far away as possible, and then after that point, anyone's allowed to kill them and take the bounty on their head. Or capture them, I guess. I think that's a possibility as well. And the only thing is, I don't recognize any of these characters. I don't know if I should. I don't know if there's like other comics that I was like if you read behind. I know, the New 52 is all about new starting points. So I'm like, well, I mean, have these characters ever appeared before? If they, is it something like I could have totally have read before and I just haven't? I'm not sure, but it's kind of interesting. The thing about it is I don't like if it was a TV show or a movie, I'd probably watch it. But since it's a comic book, I don't think I'd be interested in The Hunted that much. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not something that I would be interested in reading all the time. Uh, but the comic was pretty interesting on that half. The second half, Larfleeze, I enjoyed that part completely. If you don't know about my shows lately, or not even lately, just ever since the beginning, I do tend to spoil things. If you haven't read what I'm talking about, then stop, go read it, and watch it afterwards. Or if you don't care about spoilers, just then keep watching. So I'm gonna spoil what happens to Larfleeze, and he's trying to get this guy named Stargrave to write him a book like the Guardians have, and he tells him this story, and which is basically kind of like his origin story, but not really. It's kind of like a half an origin, and he has that written in the book, and then then he gets called out because apparently there's another Orange Lantern, and he's pissed, and he wants to be the only Orange Lantern, so he flies out, finds out that he's been a ruse, and he shows back up, and he's been robbed by the person who set him up, which I found that extremely amusing, extremely entertaining, and I would love to see more on that. But the thing is, I feel like, why does this need to be in Threshold? Honestly, I think it should be a backup in New Guardians. I think it would fit better there. Was it? I mean, I haven't been reading it in a while, but isn't Larfleeze supposed to be on that team of the New Guardians, or something? I'm not entirely sure, but that it seems like something that would be better off if it was there instead of in Threshold. Now, the Hunted having Jediah Call, that would almost be like if it was just about Jediah Call and not about the rest of the Hunted, then I could totally say it belongs as a backup in Green Lantern Corps. But because it's the Hunted as a whole, and there's other characters that appear, then it would be great. It's better that it's there. I can't. I want to check out some more issues to see if there's other characters. I know that they listed several characters that will appear in future issues that I can't even remember the names of right now. But I want to check them out and see what they are. I probably won't do any more reviews on that, but I will check it out, and maybe if it builds up, I'll let you know. I know that Jaime Reyes' Blue Beetle will appear in there because his series ended and was told that he's going to show up later in that because he's out in space or something. But anyways, tell me what you think of the review in the comments, and I will check you guys all next week. Don't forget to subscribe.